hear myself? Do I hear you?
I hear you.
All right, I hear you. I guess the control's over at my slot today.
Okay.
But you can reach over or whatever.
1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2.
Yep.
1, 2, 1, 2.
All right, it's in English. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ever tell you that? I asked a guy when I was buying a new cell phone. I said, I know we live in Florida, but I only need English, not Spanish. And he's like, what?
Uh-oh. I don't know that we have that, sir.
He's like, what? How are you?
Hey, Scott Lynn, good to see you. Good to see you. So, is that the right numbers? I think
From
so.
what I saw,
I think so.
I've got the conference standings here.
22 and 2.
Oh, that's men.
Oh, yeah. This is the men. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah. I got the women. I didn't have the men. I should look at the women's, too, shouldn't I?
Must be 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Yep. Like clockwork.
All right. 16 and 2. 22 and 2.
All right, yeah.
Tampa.
13 and
7 and 10. 13, 12.
Okay, we're good. We've got official standings. You know, this is really interesting. The ranking, Florida Southern, the preseason.
Yeah.
Florida Southern, Eckerd is just right behind Tampa. Eckerd and Tampa, and then Embry-Riddle and Nova Southeastern.
Pretty close.
So the top 5 teams.
Pretty much there.
Yeah.
So this looks like the best matchup for the women of the
Yeah.
teams. Eckerd Rollins. Not bad. Lynn.
And here's this.
Okay. So Eckerd. Is that Rollins? Oh, here's
Oh, yeah.
You have
Thank
one?
you. No. Thank you.
Okay. Zanesville, Wisconsin. Where's Frankfort, Illinois?
Frankfurt is.
Is that downstate?
Oh, man. I'm trying to think so. I think so, but I am not 100% sure right now. I do know their high school nickname is Pretzels. The Pretzels.
No, that's Freeport.
Oh, you're right.
Freeport Pretzels.
You're right. Frankfurt. Okay.
Hey.
Shall we go? Shall we talk?
Yeah.
We can talk about old rivalries and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be good. All right. All set?
Yep.
Here we go. And a very pleasant good afternoon from Tampa, Florida. It is hot
It is sunny, and it'll be hot inside the gym today because this is a key Sunshine State Conference women's basketball game. Hi, everybody. Scott Lynn along with Jack Ike. Nice to have you along. This is a big game today. The University of Tampa, currently second in the SSC with a conference mark of 13-4, taking on the team that is currently fourth in the SSC, Nova Southeastern, 12-6 in conference play. Both teams are hot. Both teams are good. And, Jack, this is going to be a fun day.
Tampa comes in with a 5-game winning streak, has gotten very hot at just the right time, but now they're down to their final 3 games of the season, all 3 games against teams in the upper half of the league. We've said all year you got to beat the teams below you, but if you're second in the conference, there's a lot of teams below you, and you still got to beat the teams that are just below you.
Well, you look at the standings right now. I looked at this before the game. Tampa is just 2-4 against the top 4 opponents in the standings. With the bottom 6 in the SSC, they are 11-0. So that is perfect explanation of what you just said. You got to beat the teams below you. They have definitely taken care of the teams that are down in the southern part of the conference standings.
Did lose to Nova Southeastern, though, on the road there earlier in the season. So a chance to get revenge, a chance to solidify their hold on second place. Right now, Tampa with a 1-game lead over Eckerd. Tampa at 13-4, Eckerd 12-5, Nova Southeastern 12-6.
Well, this is a team, Nova Southeastern, that is playing much better basketball than they did early in the season. They've won 4 of their last 5, including their last 2, 16-9 overall and 12-6, as you say, in the SSC. They added 2 starters after Christmas. One of them is their senior graduate, actually, Kristen Prossi, who had just 1 semester of eligibility remaining. They said, well, we'll hold you out till the second half of the season then, so you can play in the postseason as well. And she is just a terrific player.
And she also comes from the same high school as Emily Eshu, Naperville's Benet Academy.
They were teammates, as a matter of fact, in high school. So that'll be fun to watch that. And now our national anthem. Well, let's get you the starting lineups for today's game between Nova Southeastern and the University of Tampa. The aforementioned Kristen Prossi, number 10. She is a terrific player out of Naperville, Bennett Academy. Again, has come in with just 1 semester left this season, and she is playing now at a very high level, averaging almost 12 points a game, leads the team in rebounds with 7.4, assists. She leads the entire conference at 6.1, and she leads the team with 1.6 steals. She really does a terrific job, and shoots 39% from 3, as a matter of fact. A great all-around player. The leading scorer on the team, though, is number 14, Allison Hughes, a 5'7" senior from Janesville, Wisconsin. Played a couple years at University of Minnesota Crookston, averaging 13.6 points a game. She's the only player that started all 25 games this season. Number 15 is Michaela Thompson, the leading free throw shooter on the team, 89%. She is a 5'8" senior out of Southeastern Illinois College in Waverly, Kentucky, her hometown. Claire McMahon, number 33, is the number 2 shot blocker in the Sunshine State Conference, 1.6 blocks per game. A redshirt sophomore from Frankfort, Illinois, went to DePaul for 2 years. And Jordan Tully is the other player who came back after Christmas. She had graduated from Stetson, didn't play there, but played at Boise State prior to that. But she was at Stetson, graduated, became, still had a quarter of eligibility remaining, Well, actually more than that. She's just a redshirt junior, so she's going to be here again next year. But she started now 4 games and has played 15 games, averaging almost 12 points a game. Leanne Freeland-Curry is the head coach, assisted by Abby Tepe-Murphy. For the University of Tampa, Stasia Tider, the leading scorer on the team at 14 2 points per game. Stasia, of course, has played very, very well. Leads the Sunshine State Conference in minutes played at over 36 minutes per game. She has 10 double-doubles, the senior from Orlando. Number 12, the point guard, Chris Nelson, the 5'4 junior from Augusta, Georgia. Dory Nudge, who has 8 double-doubles of her own, leads the Sunshine State Conference in rebounds at 9 rebounds a game, averaging 14.1 points. Dory Nudge out of Hungary. Number 23, Emily Eshu, the senior. Just a couple more home games left in her career, as she started with 2 years in Bradley after playing at Naperville, Illinois. Again, a former high school teammate of Kristen Prosser. Emily Eshu out of Naperville, the 5'9 senior, averaging over 10 points a game. And Malia Sullivan, the freshman, gets the start today out of Bartow, Florida, Winter Haven High School, the 5'11 freshman, averaging 6.5 points a game. Tom Jesse in his 17th season at UT. Caitlin Mittrick, the assistant coach. Elena D'Alfredo, the graduate assistant. And we are ready for basketball. Claire McMahon to jump center against Dory Nudge. And here we go, Jack.
Spartans are going to go small in this game. Malia Sullivan, who had a great game a couple games ago, career high in points. And it would have been a fun game to see. It was on the road, but everything that we've heard about it, I think, came true in that game.
Nice interior defense by Jordan Tully as she caught the entry pass. Here comes Kristen Prossi. She gives it up to Hughes. Hughes, the leading scorer on the team. Tough shot, up and in. This is a tough matchup for University of Tampa. A very athletic and quality basketball team they're playing here today from Nova Southeastern. This is a big game for Nova Southeastern. The Sharks are just 1 game ahead of Embry-Riddle in the standings. I think you mentioned that earlier. So they need to keep going if they want to have home court advantage in the first round of the SSE tournament. Dory Nudge fighting for the rebound.
Nice job.
Never gave up there. Tampa in the white, obviously going to your right as you watch it here on the stream. Sullivan gives to Nelson. Nelson into the lane. Bounce pass, almost a turnover. Nudge corrals it. A lot of time on the shot clock. Still 10 to shoot. This is Tighter to the basket. No, kicks it out. Sullivan for 3. No good. A rebound, Prossi. Seems like Kristen Prossi's been at Nova Southeastern forever. That shot is up and in. That was a tough shot, and she got it up and in. 4-0. Nova Southeastern on top. Inside it goes to Nudge. A little jumper, and she's fouled as she launched the jumper. Jordan Tully is going to pick up the personal foul. And Nudge to the line. Dory Nudge on the season has made 96 of 124. Those are both team leading numbers. And 77% from the stripe. How about this for Dory Nudge? In her last 5 games, counting this one right there, that free throw she made, she's made 26 of her last 27 free throw attempts. She was 8 of 8 last game. She is
Not
really
many people do that, let alone a big player.
No, she's really in a groove. And I remember a few games ago, they were clutch free throws. That game that went to overtime, she scored the tying basket in the final second. Thompson gives it up on top to Prossi. Prossi between the legs dribble. Now, good defense by Eshu. Out on top it goes to Tully. Here's a 3-point shot straight away. Strong. Prossi got the rebound. She's fouled as she put it up. She will go to the line to shoot a couple. Sullivan is picking up the personal foul, her first. She only played 12 minutes against St. Leo on Wednesday night, scored just 1 point. Malia Sullivan. But you're right. Tom Jesse told me before the game, he said, I'm not sure whether we'll start Lauren Cody or if we're going to start Malia Sullivan. If they don't start their 2 bigs, we're probably going to go with Sullivan. But if they end up going to the 2 bigs, we're probably going to go Cody or get Cody into the game fairly quickly. Both free throws are drained. 6-2. Nova on top. Nova Southeastern. Nelson got it inside. Nudge up with the left hand, no good. Got her own rebound, though. And gives to Sullivan a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Inside it goes. They are trying to get it into Nudge to work on the defense. She kicks it out. A little jumper is knocked down by Titer. A nice find, good assist by Dory Nudge, and a good jumper from about 12 feet by Titer. 6'4". This is Thompson kicking it out on top. McMahon gets it inside, a whistle and a foul, and I think Sullivan's going to pick up her second.
That may get Lauren Cody into the lineup. And it's Julia McClure.
Oh, McClure going to come in.
Wanted a defensive specialist, but didn't need the height because of the matchups.
Free throw drained by Tully, who is just a 51% shooter from the line this season. Sullivan does sit down. Now, Thompson and McMahon sit down as the first substitutions of the game. Katie Barnard is into the game, a graduate out of Indiana, state of Indiana, Marion High School. She's coming into the game as the free throw is missed. 7-4 the score. Barnard is number 32. Nelson gives to Titer. Eshu, skip pass to Nelson. Nelson drives. Gets it to Nudge, who is tripped. Not in the act of shooting, so it'll be Tampa basketball. More subs. Here comes Julia Ingram into the game for Chris Nelson for Tampa. Ingram, as you know, if you're a Tampa fan, is a great three-point shooter and has made 10 of her last 17 from beyond the arc. Tom Jesse said, we're going to need our three-point shooters to hit shots today. This is a good, tough team. Also in the game is Sheree Saunders, a 5'10 junior, number 4 out of Hartford, Connecticut. Had 8 points and 3 steals in the first matchup between these two teams. Titer in the lane, kicks it to one Julia. McClure gives it to Ingram, the other Julia. Now it's Nudge trying to get it inside, forced that one, and it was knocked away by Saunders. Now the pass ahead to Saunders, low, throws it up there, no good. Coming up over the top, over the back was Maria Bardiva, and now a steal in the backcourt. Saunders laying in the weeds a little bit right there. Hughes gives it on top to Prasi. Into Bardiva. Bardiva kicks it out. And now a near turnover, but good awareness right there by Prasi. Spin move. Wow, what a nice move. Doesn't get the shot. Got her own rebound, though, and they'll reset. 7-4 Nova Southeastern on top. 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Tough shot, no good. Good interior screen out. And the rebound by Dory Notch. Ingram off the dribble. Gets it to Eshu. Eshu driving on Prasi. Good defense that time by the grad student. Now it's Titer. Titer is tripped and is down in some discomfort, but she pops up now and will try to walk it off. That foul is on Saunders. Saunders' first foul, and now into the game is Sarah Kelly. This is another player who was a Nova Southeastern standout starter as a freshman back in the 2015-16 season, but then had an injury and there was an illness in the family. She left the game, left the program, and she just came back this year. She was not playing even though she attended Gonzaga. She is a redshirt junior in the game. Nice step-through move, but she traveled. Dory Nudge with the turnover. Scott Lynn and Jack Ike with you. Jack's a little quiet. He's working on our stats monitors. They've both gone out at the moment. A technical issue. Doesn't affect our call of the game much.
But I get paid by the word, so it's costing me money.
I understand. Good rebound that time by Titer. Nudge tried to draw a charge, didn't get it. Nice pass to Ingram. Spot up three. She drained it. We're tied at 7. Julia Ingram That's her 100th three-point try of the season and her 43rd make. You do the math. You're good at that.
43%.
That's right, my friend. That's right. The leading three-point shooter in the conference is on the floor as well. Allison Hughes of Nova Southeastern, and SU grabs the rebound there. Hughes shoots 45% from deep, and get this, Ingram leads the team with 100 threes for Tampa. Hughes has launched 166.
Wow.
75 of 166. She's number 1 in the conference in makes and has launched a lot. We have timeout on the floor. 4:36 left here in the first quarter. It is Tampa 7, Nova Southeastern 7. You're watching it all on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
And we have some sponsors bringing you these games all season long. Courtyard by Marriott. It's located not far from here, 3805 West Cypress. It's the official host hotel of the Spartans, so when you visit, be sure to ask for the UT rate. You'll get huge savings. Courtyard by Marriott, simply refreshing. And Pizza Hut, a proud supporter of UT Athletics. Call Pizza Hut today, locally at 813-251-3399. Get your pizza delivered right to your doorstep. Might as well tell them to bring a Pepsi. So Pepsi's been bringing fun and refreshment to consumers for more than 100 years.
That's Jack Hike. I'm Scott Lynn. Nice to have you along today. It's a beautiful day in Tampa. A little humid, actually, at about 10 degrees hotter than normal. It's in the 80s. I think 82, 83 is the expected high today. Going to have a little bit of rain midweek coming up. But right now, beautiful day. We got the spring training baseball games going on all around the region and throughout the state of Florida. This is a great time to come visit. If you have it in mind, come down here sometime. And, you know, we still have another game on Wednesday night, women's basketball and men's basketball. And then the women will play, in all likelihood, will host a game the following Wednesday night, the first Wednesday of March, if they have home court advantage in the first round of the SSE tournament. Nudge, tough shot, put it up a little too hard. Tighter, they'll grab the rebound. Got it out on top to SU. Open three, and she hits iron only. And scrambling for the rebound is Michaela Thompson. Here comes the Sharks. Tied at 7. That was a chance for Tampa to take its first lead of the game. Didn't get it to go. This is Sarah Kelly, redshirt junior out of Huntington, West Virginia. Around to McMahon, now inside to Prossi. SU, good defense, and got the rebound as well. SU has really played well. She's only got a few games left here. I know families in the stands again today. A three-point shot by McClure. She wouldn't have taken that at the start of the season.
No, and they encouraged her to do that a little more.
She's made her first 3 career threes here in the second half of the season. Katie Barnard gets it on top, and now they get it inside to Prossi. Three-point shot here by Thompson was no good. Thompson's just a 24% shooter from deep. She's the one you would be okay with shooting a three-point try from this Nova Southeastern team.
Both teams a little bit cold to start.
Had a foul on that play. Tampa will inbound. That was the 4th team foul on Nova Southeastern, so they'll shoot the rest of the quarter if they are any more fouls, but there's only 2:54 to play here in the first period. Tied at 7. Tampa's never led. Tighter into the lane, spin move, tough shot off the glass short. Rebounded by Tolley. Tolley pushes ahead. McMahon, inside it goes, and a nice basket inside by Thompson. 9-7 Nova Southeastern. The Sharks jumped out to the early lead. Tampa's never led. It's been tied once at 7. Tampa's thrown up some shots inside that the form hasn't even really looked that good. Kind of forcing it a little bit, and there's a foul over the top. I believe that's McMahon. And that'll be the 5th team foul. So 2 free throws coming for Dory Nodge. Again, Nodge 2 for 2 in this game and has made 27 of her last 28. At St. Leo, She scored 20 points and had 11 rebounds as well, her 8th double-double of the season. That after she did not play in the game against Rollins, the previous encounter. And that free throw is perfect as well. We're tied at 9. Second tie of the game. Again, Tampa has never led. Prosy, she likes the ball in her hands, and why not? She makes good stuff happen with it. 6.1 assists per game. Michaela Thompson gives it up to McMahon. Back to Thompson. Here's Prosy going inside. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Nudge. And to the line will go Jordan Tully. You can see that size. With both Tully and McMahon, you have 6'1 and 6'2. And then, Prosy is a 5'9 point guard, so she's got some size as well. Free throw, iron, bounced around a bit and then off. Tully with a miss. I mentioned a moment ago, just 51% shooter on the year. Lauren Cody going to come into the game now for the University of Tampa. She comes in for Julia McClure. And that free throw is good by Tully. 10-9 the score. And a whistle and a blocking foul is going to be called on Cody as she set the pick. They call her for being a little too forceful with her pick, apparently. Prosy with 1:40 left in the quarter. There's a three-point shot. Boy, that was a catch and shoot by Hughes. You know she's done that a lot. Eshu and Tider were fighting over that defensive.
They didn't know that they were teammates.
No, I know. Eshu was not going to be denied, however. Good defense by Prosy, huh? I mean, she just got over that pick like nobody's business. Nudge says if you're going to... You talk about indecision.
They did.
That will be on YouTube as the indecisive jump shot.
Play of the game.
Yeah, that's it. Timeout on the floor, not to make fun. She's had a terrific season and continues to be one of the real standouts on this Spartans team. Time out with 1:12 remaining here in the first quarter. Nova Southeastern 10, Tampa 9 here on the SSC Digital Network. You know, Crown Plaza is one of the sponsors of UT basketball. Crown Plaza offers business travelers high levels of comfort, service, and amenities. Visit Crown Plaza Hotels and Resorts. Crown Plaza, the place to meet. And did you know our team has its own official orthopedic physicians? Let's give a big shout out to Dr. Seth Gasser and the Florida Orthopedic Institute and their sports medicine team for keeping our players safe and providing athletic training services and medical care to UT student athletes. Kristen Prosy brings the ball up the floor, gives it up, and gets it back. Prosy working on Eshu to the basket, no good, and a whistle and a foul. Is this going to be on Cody, I believe? And it's going to be free throws coming up here for Jordan Tully. 5th team foul on Tampa, so 2 free throws coming for Tully. She makes the first. 11-9 with 1:02 left here in the first quarter. Scott Lynn, Jack Ike with you. And she makes the second. Again, a 3-point lead. I believe that equals the largest advantage of the game. Julia Ingram off the dribble. Defended by Hughes. Trying to get it to Nudge. Inside, Nudge. Fakes left, right. Now puts up a tough shot, falling away. She's getting the ball in deep, but not able to do much with it. Pretty good defense by the Sharks. Nice to have you with us on a Saturday afternoon here in Tampa. The Bob Martinez Athletics Center on the campus of the University of Tampa. McMahon to Prosy. High-low entry pass. It goes to Dave. Check that to Tully. Tully with a miss. And the Spartans come away with it. 10 seconds to shoot. SU knows it. 7 to shoot. Gives it to Ingram. Ingram, does she know? I don't think she knew. She's going to have to get it up. Doesn't. And that is an unfortunate mistake. SU knew it, but Ingram did not. The time was about to expire. So we've come to the end of the first quarter. It is Tampa down by 3 to Nova Southeastern, 12-9 on the SSC Digital Network.
And the official chariot of the Spartans, Mart's First Class Coach. If you need to charter a bus, go online. It's www.marts, that's with a Z, first.com. And the Barnes & Noble Campus Bookstore has all your needs in one spot. Stop by and grab the latest UT gear, snacks on the run, as well as thousands of accessories for everyday needs. Open Monday through Saturday, located on the first floor of the Vaughn Center. You can shop online anytime you feel like it at utampa.bncollege.com.
Well, Tampa did not ever have a lead in the first quarter. Not the start, I don't think, that Tom Jesse wanted. He said, by the way, that he thought that the game at Nova Southeastern was maybe their worst game of the season as far as patience and focus is concerned. And I would say that they haven't been entirely patient here today. They've been going inside, which I think was the game plan, but they forced up some sort of awkward shots. And both teams have had some tough shots inside, but Tampa's really had some unfortunate looks at the basket that haven't looked real good. So here's Prasi on top. Inside it goes to Tully. Tully, top of the key now, gets it back out on top to Hughes. Hughes drives and kicks. 4 to shoot, driving to the basket. He shot just about the time the shot clock expired, and it is a shot clock violation. McMahon's shot did not draw iron.
I tell you, points in the paint are really tough to come by today, and so much so that both teams are driving, and then they'd rather kick it out for something else.
And the shots that have been attempted inside have looked awkward at both ends of the floor.
Yeah.
As you just managed to avoid a travel, got it to nudge. 8-foot jumper, left.
Even there, she just got out of the lane to find a little space.
Nudge has hit all 4 of her free throws, added a bucket as well. It's 12-11, Nova Southeastern by 1. Allison Hughes. And Cody ends up with the basketball. Here's Ingram, bringing it across the timeline. Ingram almost lost it, got it to nudge. They're looking for Cody inside. SU says, let's go up, move it the other way, and see if Laura can go to the other side. Now Ingram, catch and shoot 3. It's good! She is really in a groove. She's made 12 of her last 19 from deep. And the Spartans have their first lead of the game, 14-12.
6 now for Julia Ingram. She had a tweet earlier today, said, you should come out and watch us. We're pretty good.
And that's an understatement. She's really good. Great shooter. Good block by Cody. Cody stayed with the defense, but Prasi went and got it, and now SU, I think, going to call for a hip check. Prasi with great hustle on the offensive board. She just goes and gets it. You can see why she is the leading rebounder on the team at almost 7.5 a game.
But give Lauren Cody credit. She just stands there. She doesn't jump. She knows it's 6'3". She's probably going to be 3 inches or more taller than anyone else. So she just holds her ground.
Substitutions here. Eva Illich, number 24, is in the game. And now an offensive foul is called. And a turnover. So here comes Tampa with a 2-point lead. A possession with a lead for the first time today.
Spartans, the hot shooting team today at 33%.
Yeah.
Nova, 18%. Spartans almost twice as hot.
Yeah, 3 of 16. That's stunning.
Spartans only 1 more basket. They're 4 of 12, less shots.
SU for 3. She drains it. She's also been hot lately.
Spartans are 3 for 6 on threes today.
SU knocks it down, and there's a timeout on the floor. The Spartans with their biggest lead of the game. 5 points, 17-12 with 7:24 left here in the first half. Scott Lynn, Jack Ike with you on the SSC Digital Network.
Walter's Press Box on Southdale Mabry is Tampa's original sports emporium and eatery. It's been serving people great food for more than 20 years. Press Box, Tampa's favorite place to watch the big game. The Press Box, located at 222 Southdale Mabry. And the Embassy Suites downtown is connected via Skybridge to the Tampa Convention Center. Embassy Suites offers a convenient location. It's close to dining and entertainment right in downtown Tampa, located a few blocks from campus. So if you want to come stay in luxury, it's at 513 South Florida Avenue, downtown Tampa.
You know, Julia Ingram only played 2 minutes at St. Leo and did not score. So for her to come out here and knock down a couple of threes, her first 2 attempts, puts her at 44 for 101 on the season. Emily Eshu with that make just a moment ago. She has 44 makes, tying for the team lead in exactly 100 attempts.
So they're almost mirror images.
They pretty much are.
Put one on each side of the arc.
Exactly.
See if you can guard one.
Nova Southeastern led by as many as 4 points in the first quarter. Tampa now with its first 5-point lead, its largest of the game. Here's Prossi. Eshu's done a nice job defending her. There's a step-back 3 by Prossi, in and out. Cody tips it out, and Nudge ends up with the rebound. Julia Ingram, just a sophomore. Going to be around shooting threes for a long, long time. And now
might have got a hold.
I think so. I think it's a hold on Ilic inside. It is, number 24, the junior from Croatia. They have some international flavor on this team.
They certainly do.
Bardiva's from Russia. Tully is from Manitoba, Canada. Ilic is from Croatia. I mean, they got players from all over the world. Here is
one
Nudge.
from Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right, that's.
Nudge got her shot rejected there by Bardiva.
I joke. It's not a foreign country.
Yeah. It only seems like that. It had a little snow there and a little cold weather.
Yes.
Inside, Cody finds Nudge coming to the basket and is blocked from behind by Saunders. 5 to shoot. Ingram knows it. Ooh. Got iron, that's all. Here comes Prossi. Prossi could be headed towards a triple-double today. I just thought that, although she doesn't have any assists yet, her team hasn't made many baskets.
No.
She's found them in position to score. And again, a shot right at the rim, no good. They're now 3 for 18.
Cody, a nice job of just being disruptive.
Yeah. And nice find inside. And Nudge with another basket. She's got 8 points, the game's top scorer.
You know, ever since the Spartans started looking a little bit more inside to find Nudge or Cody to start the offense, they've taken a little more control of this game.
SU with a nice interior pass, 7-point lead, largest of the game for Tampa. Spartans have outscored Nova Southeastern 10-0 here in the quarter. And a near steal in the backcourt. It's going to be out of bounds. A turnover by Tampa. The Sharks will have it.
That's twice now. Saunders has kind of snuck in there when they weren't paying attention.
Again, wholesale changes. Prossi among those who will sit down. Also Bardiva. So on the floor, you now have Sarah Kelly, number 1. Hughes, Saunders. There's a quick shot by Kelly, no good. And Nudge got in there and maybe jammed a finger while knocking that ball away. Tighter crossover. Step through move. Nice. Pretty play. Tighter with just her second basket of the game. 4 points, 4 rebounds in 15 minutes. It's a 9-point lead and a 12-0 run in the period. And we're halfway through quarter number 2.
Nudge still keeps looking down. Has she jammed it or?
I'll tell you what.
Cracked a nail or something.
Eshu is very active.
Yeah. That's 5 rebounds already. Is Nudge already? They're saying Nudge with 10 rebounds already.
She might have that. She's gotten her hands on a lot.
Her next basket is a double-double.
Cody misses right at the rim, but there's a Nudge rebound again. And yes, that's her 11th. Her career high is 16. She's done it 3 times this year.
Wow.
Eshu picked up by Sarah Kelly, gets it to Nudge. Nudge defended by Barnard. Inside to Titer, 4 to shoot. She throws it up with the left hand, no good. Here comes Allison Hughes, leading scorer for this team. Hughes has just 2 points so far today. Oops. Whoa, yeah, still just 2. She's 1 for 5 from the floor.
But they are under 15% now.
Yeah. Wow. 3 for 21. 3 for 22.
Yeah.
13.6%.
They're making 1 of every 7.
I'm sure Lisa Freeland Curry is absolutely stunned with what she has seen as far as the ball just not going in the hoop ever down at that end of the floor.
And they're not bad shots. They're just not falling.
2 to shoot. Cody knows it. And that's an air ball. Violation. Timeout on the floor as Michaela Thompson and Kristen Prossie come back in for Nova Southeastern. No, I thought there was going to be timeout.
I thought so.
In fact, the officials, I thought, had pointed to a timeout, but they were just bringing in the Nova Southeastern players. Okay, we've got 6 players on the floor right now, don't we?
All right, 1's goalie, so it's okay.
Honest to God, we had 6 players out there, and the officials were counting, going, don't start play yet. They've got too many players out here. And at that point, Sarah Kelly said, I'm going to run off the floor.
This is not Iowa girls basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
You ever understand that game? No. Iowa girls basketball?
No, you could only go on one half of the floor.
You have offense and you have defense.
Right.
And if you're the 3 on defense and you rebound, you have to get it to somebody in the front court.
And I believe, did they not do away with that?
I think
believe
so.
They did, because it was unfair to anybody who wanted to try to get a college scholarship.
Yeah.
You know. Nova Southeastern yet to score here in the second quarter. We've played almost 7 minutes. Inside to Prossie. She throws it up high. Off the iron, no good. But the rebound pulled down once, now twice by Tully, and a whistle and a foul. 2:56 left in the quarter, and the foul is on McClure. Julia McClure picks up the personal. And sitting down is McMahon. Coming back in. Oh, check that. McMahon is in. Prossie. There's a feeling of desperation at the Nova Southeastern end, don't you think?
Yeah,
I mean, they just like, we haven't scored yet this quarter. And now Prossie will go to the line and have a chance to at least get a point on the board. They're 3 for 24 from the floor. Great defense by Tampa. Tampa is 1 of 7 themselves, 7 of 23. 7 of 21, rather, 33%.
Their basket came with 1 minute and 1 second to go left in the first quarter.
Well, they're on the board here in the quarter. Prossie.
So about 8 minutes plus.
7 minutes plus, right? 10 minutes, 7
1 minute.
Do the math, 7. Yeah, 7 minutes and 13 seconds it took them to score in the quarter. Oh, you meant
since the last basket.
Oh, right. And they still don't have a field goal in that time, but they do have a point now. They're first of the period as Prossie made the free throw. She's
problem is the Spartans are, until then, on a 2.5-minute drought.
Julia McClure with the basket makes it 23-13.
And I will guarantee you this is not how this game will go. It's going to be nip and tuck down to the wire.
I kind of agree with you. Step through move, and Cody's going to pick up a personal foul. That'll be her 3rd, and she'll have to sit down. So Sullivan, who got 2 very quick fouls, might have to come back in here.
And with Nudge on the bench as well, somebody will have to get in there. And it's going to be Dory.
You know, Eshu has 2 fouls. So does Sullivan. And Cody with 3.
Not a deep bench. There's not a lot of players on the Spartan bench.
The only Nova Southeastern player with more than 1 foul is McMahon. She has 2. Missed the free throws. Rebound Ingram. Chris Nelson back in the game. 10-point lead for Tampa. Nelson gives to Nudge. Nudge at the elbow, hands to Ingram. Gives to Nelson. Here's Tider.
That's her spot.
Yeah.
Elbow jumper.
Left elbow jumper, just a thing of beauty. Largest lead for Tampa, 12 points.
Doubled them up all of a sudden after trailing 12-9.
16-1 advantage in the quarter for Tampa. Unbelievable. By the way, Justin Pecca, the associate men's basketball coach for Tampa, will be a guest of Jack's at halftime. And a turnover as they try to go inside. Still no field goals.
We're going to talk the exact opposite when Justin comes here about the Nova Southeastern men's team. They just dipped below averaging 100 points a game.
Yeah, the first 20 games of the season, they averaged over 100 points a game. And they are now at 99.9 or 99.4. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Still averaging more than body temperature.
Nudge will go back to the line.
Spartans are 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And Nova Southeastern's been to the line 12 times. The Spartans have committed a lot of fouls. Actually, the fouls are 9-8, but the Spartans have committed more shooting fouls.
Dory makes her 5th straight of the day. She was 8 of 8.
She's still shaking off the hand, looking down at it. I'm sure they'll treat it in about a minute 20.
She actually had rim on that free throw, and that's the first time today. Otherwise, it's been nothing but net.
Again.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Not a high-scoring half for the Spartans, and yet they lead 27-13.
Spartans lead the Sunshine State Conference in fewest points allowed this season at 52.8.
There it is.
And there's the first basket at 102 mark.
9 minutes and 59 seconds of no baskets.
So basically a whole quarter. Yeah, and that is the first basket of the quarter for Nova Southeastern. It came with 62 seconds left in the period. 18-3 Tampa in the second period.
That is a drought.
To Tider. Tider step back 3. She knocks it down. And again, largest lead of the game, 15 points. They've doubled the score on the Sharks, 30-15.
Tyra Cormier getting ready to check in for the Spartans. She may get in before the quarter.
Prossi, I'll tell you what, just great swarming defense for the Spartans here in this first half. Prossi got her own rebound. Hughes got it up and in. Allison Hughes with the basket. Just her second field goal. Spartans should take the last shot here. 10 seconds to go. Chris Nelson looks for the sign. Now there's only 3 seconds to shoot. Does she know? Into the lane she goes. Puts it up. No good. And we've come to the end of the first half. What a great quarter it was for Tampa. They had an 18-1 lead, I think, at one point in the period, but it ends up a 21-5 quarter for the Spartans. Just 2 made field goals in the period.
And they all came in the last
Nova
minute.
Southeastern Sharks. Yeah, in the last 62 seconds, they got their 2 field goals. So terrific first half. Dory Nudge with another double-double at halftime. 10 points, 11 rebounds, and Stasia Tider with 9 points, 5 boards. She could be on her way to yet another double-double. 30-17 is the halftime score. We'll have all the scoring information for you here in just a bit. Justin Pecca is making his way over here courtside. I'll give him my microphone, and you guys can chat.
All right. Spartans men team on a 4-game winning streak as the Spartans have gotten hot at just the right time. Joining me, Associate Head Coach Justin Pecca. Spartans on the longest winning streak of the season in conference play, 4 games. Congrats. Things are looking good right now.
We'll take it. When they're good, they're good.
You say coaches look really good when the team makes a lot of shots, right?
Yeah, we look really good. Yeah,
we'll
take it. Yeah.
What's the difference, though? 4-game winning streak. You know, you're playing the same teams that you've been playing earlier in the season, but what's changed?
Well, we finally have some guys back from injury, and it takes a few games to get the chemistry back, to get going, and we're playing well together. We have some key guys that are stepping up, making big shots, and specifically Freddie Ibrahim's been playing well.
Career high the other night at St. Leo, 30?
Yeah, he's playing well. Senior, he only got 2 weeks left in his career. Hopefully 3 or 4 weeks, but he's playing really well right now.
It seemed like earlier in the year, Anthony Gamble started out really hot.
Yeah.
Then they figured out Anthony Gamble loves to shoot the three.
Yeah.
Shut him down for a little bit, but he has resurrected his three.
Yeah, he's shooting the ball really well lately. We need him to keep it going for sure. Same thing, senior, so he's got a few weeks left, trying to get the most of it.
They can hear the tick, tick, tick. Huh?
Yeah, I think so. And he knows we have this three-point fundraiser
he's
going
costing
on.
me money.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's a very good cause.
What we're referencing is the Spartans are in a American Cancer Society three-point shooting, and for every game they play in February and all through March, games in March, if you sign up and pledge whatever you want, I'm pledging $1 per three-pointer because you told me you average about 7 three-pointers a game.
Yeah.
You cost me $16.
$16, I know. It all goes to a good cause, though. So
more than happy to.
We're going to hope to make 20 tonight.
I'll gladly pay. I'll pay cash for that.
Okay.
But even Anthony hit 10, tying his career high, I believe it was.
Yeah, 2 games ago,
Yeah, so what about, we heard about Marco Downer improving a couple games ago. We haven't seen his name brought up as much. Is he still playing consistent, though? He's still playing well.
There's different games where he's going to look better than others. Depends on matchups and style of the game. But, he's still playing a big role for us, still affecting shots around the rim. So he's doing a good job.
This is a Nova Southeastern team coming in tops in the conference. Just fell under 100 points a game for their average, 99.42 per game.
Yeah.
They only give up 81.5. So which game do you play, the Spartans game, or try to keep it down, or do you've run with teams in the past and had success?
Yeah, we want to try to run when we can, but we need to play our game and execute in the half court. And they're really good at running, and they're really good at speeding up the game. So we don't want to try to do that as much.
Do they go inside? Are they three-point shooting team?
They can really shoot.
Yeah.
They can really shoot, yeah. And if you look at their scoring, they have, I think, 5 or 6 guys in double figures. I mean, it's well-balanced.
That's 70 points right there, 70 plus, in your top 6 scorers.
Yeah.
And one of them doesn't start.
Right.
Comes off the bench and averages double digits.
Yeah, they can really shoot. So
matchup problems, or does it?
Yeah, Mark Matthews is their center. He's about 6'5", 6'6", kind of a matchup problem for Marco, but
20 points a game.
At the same time, we think Marco, could affect his game. So it goes both ways.
All right. Well, you must feel good about getting players back.
Absolutely, yeah. It's good to have some depth off the bench now.
Even if you have to convince them they should come back.
Yeah. Freddie, injuries are playing a role, but Alberto's coming off the bench right now, and he's obviously plays a big role for us, especially tonight. We'll be going 3 guards a lot probably, just because they speed the game up so much.
Right. Well, Justin, good luck, and we'll be courtside watching.
All right.
If you need advice, look over.
All right. Hopefully a lot of threes.
Okay. Justin Pekka, Associate Head Coach. Spartans taking on Nova Southeastern men. Game at about 4 o'clock, but we will have the second half of the women's game coming up in about 10 minutes. So stick with us. You're watching right here on Tampa, Spartans.tv.
we did, actually. I'm going to come back at the 3-minute mark just to give stats and stuff, so you don't even have to, don't worry about it. I'm going to get us back on, Jack. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Well, it's halftime here in Tampa. The Spartans from the University of Tampa leading Nova Southeastern. The Sharks with just an unbelievable second quarter. Just 5 points in the period. They end up shooting 2 of 15 in the quarter, and I think they made their last 2, if not 2 of their last 3.
They did.
But their only field goals came in the last 62 seconds. They were 3 of 13 in the first quarter, 23%. And then it got worse. That's probably what head coach Leanne Freeland was saying, is it can't be worse than that. Well, it was, as they shoot 2 of 15, 13% in the second quarter, shooting 17.9% for the game. Nova Southeastern, which is a team that is 16-9, 12-6. They've won 4 of their last 5. They're 4th in the Sunshine State Conference. They won at Lynn Wednesday night, 83-61. But today it just hasn't gone their way. Kristen Prossi leading the way with 7 points and 6 rebounds. 4 points for their leading scorer, Allison Hughes, but she's just 2 of 6 from the floor. 4 points for Jordan Tolley as well, but she's got all 4 of her points from the line. She's missed all 4 of her field goal attempts. 2 points for Michaela Thompson, and that's it. Claire McMahon played 11 minutes and didn't score, and the bench went a collective 0 of 7 in a scoreless first half. Kelly, Saunders, Illich, Barnard, and Bardiva all scoreless in the half. So it wasn't a good half for Nova Southeastern. Meantime, Tampa, which shot just 2 of 10, 20% in the first quarter, a quarter in which they never led, but the Spartans came back strong, shooting 57% of the second quarter, 8 of 14, and they've made 4 of 8 from deep, the Spartans have, while Nova Southeastern has missed all 6 of its tries. 10 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, a perfect 6 of 6 from the line for Dory Nudge, her 9th double-double of the season. Stasia Titer, 9 points, 5 rebounds. She has 10 double-doubles already this season. She might be on her way to yet another. The bench with 8 points, including Julia Ingram's 2 from downtown. She was 2 of 3 from deep. 6 points for her, 2 for Julia McClure, and 2 block shots in 9 minutes with 3 personal fouls for Lauren Cody. But a 21-5 second quarter has given the University of Tampa this halftime advantage of 30-17. But Jack, you said it in the first half. There's still a long way to go in this one.
You know, halftime has an odd way of kind of resetting everything, and you just sort of start anew from that point. Nova shoots 46% from the field on the season. They have not had a game below 35% this year. So this is, if you didn't realize it, is highly unusual.
Well, and Nova Southeastern is second in the Sunshine State Conference in scoring this season at 73.7 points a game, and they have 17 at the break. That is stunning. Great defense by Tampa. Let's give both teams credit for doing a job defensively. Nothing came easy in the first half, but there's still a long way to go, and Tampa has to come out with that same kind of intensity, because you know that Leanne Freeland's going to have her team ready to fire up here in the third quarter.
3 players for the Spartans with 2 fouls or more, so that's a concern.
All the way to the basket, a nice left-handed layup by Dory Nudge. She's now got 12 points, game's top scorer. And a 15-point lead equals the largest of the game. A whistle and a foul.
Well, add Nudge to the list of players with 2 or more fouls for the Spartans.
Indeed.
Which can be a concern. Cody and Nudge now with 2 and 3, respectively.
Yeah.
Actually, Nudge with 2, Cody with 3.
Thompson gets it on top to McMahon. McMahon had 20 points the other night in the win over Lynn. To the basket, blocked by Sullivan.
Interestingly, Chris Nelson not starting the half. Sullivan back in the lineup with Julia McClure in the lineup.
Well, McClure is the defensive specialist, and that is one area I know that the coaching staff would like Chris Nelson to step up her game. She can run the team pretty well, but there's a three-point shot. Good by Tyder. She's got 12 points after knocking it down from downtown, and it's an 18-point lead, largest of the game. Time out, Sharks, as the Spartans lead it here in UT, 35-17 on the SSC Digital Network.
And your trusted Tampa Subaru dealer is Mastro Subaru. It's located at 6402 West Hillsborough Avenue. Customers can view the large Subaru inventory. They can also receive full-service maintenance on vehicles. And, as a Spartan sponsor, watch for Mastro's UT staff and student service specials at Mastro Subaru. Our reputation rides with you. And for fresh-made hot or cold subs, visit Firehouse Subs. At Firehouse Subs, our subs are made the firefighter way. They are served steaming hot and loaded with the finest fresh sliced meats and cheeses, located at 2617 West Kennedy Boulevard. Firehouse, founded by firemen.
Rebounding has really been a key for the Spartans today. They have a 26-15 rebound advantage. I didn't mention that stat a minute ago. It was 25-15 at the break, so that's just a tremendous job. Nova Southeastern is number 1 in defensive rebounding allowed. They only give up 31 defensive rebounds a game. Tampa's second, though, at 31.7. So these are two teams that like to box out and do a great job. But, boy, Tampa has had it in every way here, starting after the end of the first quarter. It's been all Tampa.
Interestingly, though, even with that decided rebounding advantage of 11, Nova Southeastern is up 7-2 in second chance points.
Interesting. Inside it goes. Nice pass. And McMahon with the basket.
Kyder smartly said, I got to let that one go in.
McMahon, who had 20 the other night, gets her first points of the game here about a minute and a half into quarter number 3. As shoot to Sullivan. A little wheel and deal on McMahon.
Wow, nice head shake there.
Just a freshman, folks. Just a freshman.
The thing with her is got to keep her out of foul trouble. She's a very aggressive player offensively and defensively.
Inside, boy, a nice cut. McClure got there in time to defend it, and now McClure ends up with the rebound.
Sullivan's a much better player on the floor than on the bench.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
So you got to stay out of foul trouble.
Remember, they did not play her. Tom Jesse did not play her on the opening game of the season. And then she came out the next game and lit it up. 5 to shoot. Sullivan for 3. It's short. Tyder with the rebound. Sullivan had 21 in her collegiate debut against Claflin. She did score 25 at Rollins on this most recent road trip. And a 20-point lead for Tampa. Unbelievable.
Very surprising.
Sullivan with another bucket. She's got 4 points. 39-19.
I thought Nova might come out with a little vengeance or something going on, but they're down 9-2 this quarter.
I think Sullivan just picked up her third, battling for defensive possession.
You know, you might keep her in.
And I think Tom Jesse is thinking along the same lines as you.
Unless somebody hasn't reported to him that was the third. No, they're giving it to... who'd they give it to? Gave it to...
No, they gave it to Sullivan.
Oh, it is Sullivan. Okay.
Yeah.
They haven't changed it.
Inside, Prosy gets the basket. She's got 9 points. Tops on the Sharks. It was a 20-point lead moments ago. Spartans would love to keep it a double-digit lead into the fourth quarter. Nudge, strong basket. Attempt.
Don't foul.
Strong drive, but no foul, and she put it up too hard. Prosy, coast to coast, lays it in now.
A former teammate had to concede that one. Former high school teammates.
Here's Tighter. Little jumper. It's a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Automatic.
14.6 boards for Stasia Tighter.
But twice now they've been getting back.
Too easy if you're a Tampa Spartan. 6 minutes left, third quarter. 16-point lead for Tampa. Largest lead has been 20. Nova Southeastern led by 4 early in the game. Sullivan picked up by Barnard. Nudge. 19-footer. Wow. Jumper is good. She pumps her fist as she goes the other way. 14 points, 12 boards, 4 assists for Dory Nudge.
Spartans have vaulted up to 50% shooting from the floor.
There's a three-point shot off the back of the iron. Sullivan chases it down. Hughes with the miss there.
They're 6 for 8 this quarter, 50%, 16 to 32 for the game.
Just Hughes' second three-point try. She has been bottled up today, and now whistling a foul on Prosy.
Gets the Spartans out of a tough situation.
Prosy and Eshu, 2 players near the ends of their collegiate careers, and their teammates, and they're guarding each other this game. Ex-teammates in high school. There was a state championship at that high school.
Mom said something about she couldn't remember if they were teammates on that one.
I don't think so. I think she said they were teammates, but the year that they won the state championship, they were not. And I think that Prosy is the year older.
More than likely, because she's listed as a grad student.
Right. Tully with the miss, got a rebound and put it back up and in. Not to be denied now. 43-27. Spartans would like to keep it a 15 to 20-point lead heading into that fourth quarter.
I'm having our intern check on this.
Very good. Okay. Here's Sullivan to the basket. Puts it up. She's fouled. She'll go to the line. Malia Sullivan, 5'11 freshman out of Winter Haven High School. And we're going to have a timeout on the floor. We'll tell you more about Malia Sullivan when she goes to the charity stripe after this timeout. 4:41 left in the third. Tampa 43, Nova Southeastern 27. Scott Lynn and Jack Ike with you on the SSC Digital Network.
And some more great sponsors. Jimmy John's. They are freaks about fresh bread, meats, and veggies, because that means better sandwiches for all of us. Freaky fresh, freaky fast. Jimmy John's, freaky, yeah. And Florida Orthopedic Urgent Care. Well, how about giving it up to the Spartan team physicians of the Florida Orthopedic Institute? That is Florida's largest orthopedic group. That's Dr. Seth Gasser and his sports medicine team. They keep our players active and safe on and off the field with their Ortho Urgent Care, located just minutes away in South Tampa.
Well, there's no question that the Spartans will have an extra game in the SSC tournament. They have qualified for the tournament without a doubt. Whether it will be a home game is yet to be determined. If they win today, however, they will clinch a first round, which is a quarterfinal round game of the tournament. The first round is played at 4 campus sites, and they would clinch home court advantage in the first round. You would not know who the opponent is yet, of course, but they would have only 4 conference losses if they hold on to this victory here, and nobody else 5th or lower could catch them. So bottom line is, if they win today, they will clinch home court advantage, and there will be a quarterfinal game played here March 6th, Wednesday, March 6th. So you could probably mark that on your calendar if they hold on. They still have games remaining at home on Wednesday night against Eckerd, Wednesday the 27th, and then they finish the regular season at Lynn on Saturday, March 1st. But if you can hold on here, you will have clinched home court advantage. Sullivan made 1 of 2 from the line, the freshman. And there's a nice offensive rebound and a putback by Katie Barnard. 44-29, 15 points. This is as close as Nova Southeastern has been since they fell behind by 20 a couple of minutes ago. Eshu picked up by Prosy. Sullivan drives, and that's going to be an offensive foul. She was out of control. That's been one of the issues. she has made some freshman mistakes, and that is one of them. She left her feet driving to the lane and drove into the defender. But again, a talented player, had D1 offers from Kansas State and Texas Tech, but being a Florida native, Bartow, Florida, she wanted to play close to home, and that's why she is here. The shot is missed, no good, but Hughes chases it down.
The three has not been nice.
No, definitely not. They're 0 for 8. And now that's an offensive foul. Nudge picks up the foul on Hughes.
Just her first.
Yep. Here comes Julia Ingram in the game for Sullivan. Sullivan sits down with 4 personal fouls. And as you said, she's a better player on the floor.
Well, there was a state championship at Benet Academy in 2015. Not sure if the math has them on the team then.
I think so.
And 2016. Pull up the picture here, see if I recognize Emily.
I thought you were having the intern do that.
He brought it over.
Oh, okay.
All right. See if maybe they list names.
15-point advantage with 3:50 left in the third. Tampa on top, trying to clinch home court advantage in the first round of the SSC tournament and hold on to their second spot. There's a jumper, no good by Nudge. Prossie went and got the rebound. Prossie coast to coast. The ball knocked out of bounds by Tampa. It'll still be Nova Southeastern ball. A lot of time to shoot.
Yep, she was on the 2015 championship team. The Lady Red Wings featured 3 1,000-point scorers, of which Emily Eshu was one of them.
Very nice. Eshu then, as we've told you before, went to Bradley University for 2 years before coming to University of Tampa last season. Prossie spins with the left hand, scores over Eshu. Probably a scene that was repeated many times in high school practice.
Yeah.
The two teammates going at it. 13-point lead, so that 20-point lead has been cut by 7. Inside to Nudge, kicks it out. Ingram for 3, no good. Nudge got the rebound, her 13th of the game. Now Eshu drives. Bump, no whistle, still got the finish with the left hand. Eshu now with 5 points. Just her 3rd field goal attempt and her first 2-point try. Back to 15. Saunders gives it up to Hughes. Hughes defended by McClure. Boy, she's been playing
Hughes
tough.
Hughes is hunting her shot, but
she's just not able to get it.
No.
With McClure, the great defender. Whistle on a foul on the drive. They're going to call McClure for the personal foul. That's her 2nd. And the team's 3rd, I believe.
3rd this quarter, yep.
Sarah Kelly.
4th this quarter.
Okay. Sarah Kelly comes in. Barnard sits down. Prossie's going to get a quick breather. As is Barnard. Oh, I mentioned Barnard sitting down. So, again, Hughes, Tully, McMahon. McMahon gives it up to Hughes. Hughes kicks it back. McMahon for 3. It's no good. Rebound. Boy, I'll tell you what. Tully is a tower of power inside. A whistle and a foul.
Going to be 4 on Cody then.
Yep, and that's 2 free throws coming. And you're right. 4 on Cody, 4 on Sullivan. Tom Jesse said before the game, this Nova Southeastern team is deeper than we are. And now with 2 players with 4, that's kind of an issue for the Spartans. And the free throw missed by Tully.
But an issue has been free throw shooting, now 7 of 13 for the day.
And Tully is 4 of 9. And we mentioned at the outset, just a 51% shooter on the year.
They are now 7 of 14. They've left a lot of points on the line.
But they grab the offensive rebound. With just over 2 minutes left, they have a chance to cut into the 15-point deficit. Kelly, defended by Nudge. Inside it goes. And
overrated.
Boy, McMahon just way too strong. She is definitely not having the kind of night she had earlier. She's got just 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. 1 of 6 shooting. I stand corrected. And Prossie will be coming back in momentarily. There's Nudge. Wide open 17-footer. Oh, no good. Rebound by Tully.
Just a little strong.
Up on top, here's McMahon for three. It's back of the iron, and SU goes and gets another rebound, her fifth.
They're 0 for 11 from three. A team that hit about 39%, 35%, I should say, during the season.
McMahon, who's just missed 2 3-pointers, was 4 of 10 from deep in her game the other night, and there's another shot drained.
Glory Nudge. 16 now.
16 points, 13 boards, 5 assists. Whistle and a foul. McClure, I think, called for the push. And 2 free throws coming. Third foul on McClure. Well, you get 5. You might as well use most of them, huh? Free throw is missed by Hughes.
Under 50%.
And she is an 88% free throw shooter.
It's just been a tough day anywhere.
Yep.
They have set their feet to shoot.
Thompson's the team's leading free throw shooter at 89%, and she has not been to the line today. So McMahon, check that. Hughes just made her first 2 attempts of the day. It's just not gone their way, and as you say, the biggest numbers at 0 for 11 from deep.
You shoot your average for threes, that's 6 more points.
Yeah.
That'd be 3 for 11, maybe 4 for 11. You might have 8 more points.
Well, if you're at 4 points.
I take that back. I'm multiplying by 2.
Yeah,
by 3.
To the basket, McClure with 5 seconds on the shot clock. 1 second difference between the clocks, the game and shot clock. So Nova Southeastern should get the final shot of the period. 18-point lead. Let me do the math, huh? 18-point lead for Tampa. Crossy will orchestrate when it gets under 10. There's the 10-second mark. Here she comes, working on. And a strong offensive foul is called.
Hit the shoulder, heading in.
Crossy picks up her 3rd foul on the charge. Great defense by McClure.
And McClure didn't slide in. McClure was just backpedaling, and that's legal. You're entitled to a spot like that.
And there's the end of the third quarter. There was only 5 seconds in the period, and Tom Jesse, you might have thought maybe would be upset. He's not. He's given his team 5 because of the great quarter they had. They held off the challenge. It got as close as 13, but they lead here by 18 with 10 minutes left. 50-32 Tampa leading Nova Southeastern on the SSC Digital Network.
University Dining Services by Sodexo allows you to choose from 27 dining stations. They serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night, and snacks. The official concessionaire of UT Athletics is Sodexo Campus Dining. Visit the UT website and check dining services for variety and hours. And Sailport Waterfront Suites is Tampa's only all-waterfront, all-suite resort. It's located on beautiful Rocky Point Island, just minutes from UT. Sailport is a refreshing alternative to typical box hotels. It's got spacious rooms, waterfront relaxation. Sailport Waterfront Suites, an official partner of UT Athletics.
So here we go with 10 minutes remaining in a regulation. An 18-point lead for the University of Tampa. Still got to play the game. By the way, the officials, Will Schreiber, Daryl Dawkins, Anthony Napolitano. Should mention them. They've done a nice job, I think, today. Nova Southeastern with the basketball to start the final period. Hughes to the basket, puts it up. Boy, tough day for her all around. Yeah. Good rebound there by Badiva, who's back in. And again, good rebound here by Thompson. And a held ball, arrow now pointing to Tampa. The Spartans will have it with a chance to go up by 20 yet again.
Well, they weathered the first storm when it got cut down to 12. 13.
Right. Yeah,
12, right. Was it?
13 for sure. Yeah. It might have been even 12 at one point.
And that was important because, you give up a possession, they have a chance to get it to 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Then you start thinking a little bit too much.
McClure, Cody, Tighter, Nudge, and the ball handler, Emily Eshu. What fun they're having. What fun she's having. Winning by 18 against her former high school teammate they've guarded each other the whole game. Tighter on the cut. Puts it up, she's fouled. She'll shoot free throws. With 9:20 left, if she makes them both, they'll be back up to a 20-point lead. Prossi, 13 points, 8 rebounds to lead Nova Southeastern. She's the only player anywhere close to double-figure scoring. The next best is Hughes with only 5.
And really the only one close to a decent shooting night.
Yeah.
Of the players with some volume on their shooting.
Yeah, Hughes is just 2 for 10. Stunning.
Prossi 5 for 10.
Tighter hit them both. 52-32, equaling the largest lead. 16 points for Tighter with 7 rebounds. 16 points with 13 boards for Nudge.
Both teams 11 three-pointers on the day. Spartans have hit 5. Nova Southeastern none. There's a 15-point swing.
Inside to Prossi. Step through move, no good. Prossi kept it alive, got it back. Ball knocked away by Nudge, into the hands of Eshu.
Well, there's a mini capsule of the game right there. Missed an easy point blank shot, got the rebound, and then threw it away.
Only the 6th turnover of the game for Nova Southeastern. It's not that they played poorly, they just can't make a basket.
Right.
Just 25% from the field for the game.
You know, the Spartans don't have a lot of points, but they're not a high-scoring team.
Spartans shooting 60% this half. 5 to shoot. Off the iron, no. Off the backboard and then the iron.
I almost thought Emily said, I got to show you I can still score. With her ex-teammate guarding her.
Prossi on the switch. Takes Tighter to the rack. Tighter gets the rebound, though, and that's her 8th.
But again, same story. Prossi, nice move. Just won't fall.
That's the way it's been for Nova Southeastern today. This is a big game for them. Remember, Nova Southeastern is just ahead of Embry-Riddle. 1-game lead in the standings.
Yeah, and they were only 1 game down in the loss count, or 1 win short of having the same number as Tampa.
Eshu off the dribble had a good look, and now both teams looked a little tired, I think, and timeout is called by Leanne Freeland. They can't exchange misses. They can't even exchange makes at this point. 7:51 left. A 20-point lead for the Spartans, trying to clinch home court advantage in the first round of the SSC tournament. 52-32 Tampa over Nova Southeastern on the SSC Digital Network.
And for generations, Krispy Kreme has been serving delicious donuts and coffee. Stop by for an original glazed donut or any other variety. Pair it with a hot coffee. Visit your nearest Krispy Kreme. It's not far from here on West Kennedy. Krispy Kreme serving hot donuts. Now, Scott, don't get up. Don't get up.
I was thinking about it.
I know.
I was thinking about hitting the highway. So, this game is just stunning. The first quarter was really pretty much dominated start to finish by Nova Southeastern. They led, the Sharks did, 12-9 at the end of the period, and Tampa was just 2 of 10 from the floor. But then the second quarter was 21-5. Tampa outscored Nova Southeastern, 20-15 in the third quarter. And the Spartans just at this point seem to be on their way to a victory that would clinch them home court advantage in the first round of the tournament. Men's game coming up at 4 o'clock. Jeff will have the call. He's been saving his voice this game because next game...
They have to elevate every so often because I think both teams are going to elevate.
Yeah. Again, Nova Southeastern, number 3 in the nation, averages just a smidgen under 100 points a game. That three-point shot is good by Hughes. She finally gets her first make from deep today.
I thought she had taken more. That's only her 4th.
Full court pressure here, and Tampa does get and beat it. And Sullivan back in the game, gets the layup. Hughes knocked that shot down. She had missed her first 3 from deep. And yes, that was just her 4th three-point try of the day. Inside it goes, and Nudge wisely will let McMahon lay it in. Full court pressure now. Again, the Spartans have to take care of business. Sullivan turns it over. Hughes out to Prossi for 3. Boy, if that had gone, momentum would have been swinging the other way. A whistle and a foul on Sheree Saunders. She came down on the wrist of McClure. Again, full court pressure. Leanne Freeland having to try something. Create some turnovers.
Got to steal some baskets earlier in the game. Saunders had stolen a couple passes in the backcourt on her own. Now it's an orchestrated press.
And there was senior to senior. SU to Ingram, to McClure rather. And then McClure is fouled. Nope, or timeout is called by Tom Jesse. So a little bit of a double team coming. And Tom Jesse, this is not a bad time to take a timeout so he can talk about that full court pressure that is coming every time after a make. And they've actually started to make some shots. So it's a 17-point game with 6:44 remaining. The Spartans have been very, very good at home this season. Last year, of course, disappointing season. They had some injuries and really just didn't play well as a group down the stretch. They were pretty good at home, 14-3 at the Martinez Athletic Center, but 17-11 overall and just 10-10 in conference play. But this year, they are 13-4 in the conference. They have done such a good job. As we mentioned at the outset, if you joined us late, the teams below them in the standings, the bottom 6 in the conference standings at the start of the day, Tampa is 11-0 against all those teams below them. They're just 2-4 against some of the top opponents, however. They did lose the first matchup to Nova Southeastern. 4 to shoot. SU to the basket. Is tied up from behind, held ball. Good block there by McMahon. Nova leads the SSC in blocks per game at 4.28. I'm not sure if McMahon gets a block there, but she gets a held ball at the very least. Just going to check and see here if they gave her a block shot there. Vardiva has 2 blocks. Those are the only blocks credited thus far. Inside it goes to Prossi. She lays it up and in. 15-point game, 6:05 remaining. SU gets double-teamed in the backcourt, falls to the floor, and a held ball. Its arrow goes to Tampa. The pressure's making a difference.
Yeah, it has. The problem is they haven't gotten a lot of good rebuttals from Nova Southeastern after they make the play.
Dory Nodge, a transfer from the University of South Florida, D1 school. This is her first year at
Only
Tampa.
A sophomore. That's the nice thing is usually your transfers come in as juniors.
Yes, and she's been a leader all season long, close to averaging a double-double. Coming into the game, 14 points and a SSC leading 9 rebounds per game. Whistle, and traveling is going to be called on McClure. She was triple-teamed the moment she caught the ball.
That's 12 turnovers on the Spartans.
Tom Jesse, a little intense at the moment, pleading his case that perhaps there was a foul prior to the traveling call. Inbound it comes. Here comes McMahon, dribbling in deep against Nudge. Kicks it out to Hughes. Hughes step back. Oh, boy. She cannot get the shot away. Gets the give and go from Prossi. And now it's a 13-point game with 5:45 remaining. And there's a bad inbounds pass by Tyter. A turnover, and suddenly Tom Jesse says, come on, what is going on? And that's her senior, Stasia Tyter, that just threw the ball away.
So Chris Nelson coming into the lineup. He wants a little more veteran savvy on the court. Sullivan out. Someone who can protect the ball, maybe even break the press on her own.
Yeah, off the dribble. Inbounded to Saunders. Saunders working on Nelson. Goes deep, puts it up, off the iron. Prossi with a rebound, and she's fouled by SU on the ground. First team foul for Tampa here at the 5:35 mark. A 13-point lead for Tampa, but certainly momentum has swung towards the Sharks of Nova Southeastern. Inbounded to Saunders. She lost it. She had a layup and just didn't catch it. Now in the backcourt, here comes Nelson, as you say, off the dribble. Full court, man-to-man pressure. And a foul, hand check, called on Saunders.
Foul 3.
3 fouls on Prossie, 3 fouls on Sheree Saunders.
Eckerd, the team right behind the Spartans in the standings, leads Rollins, but just by a point. 45-44 in the second half. 5 minutes to go in that game.
Nudge had her shot blocked by McMahon, out of bounds. Still 24 seconds on the shot clock. A lot of time for the Spartans. Chris Nelson will inbound. Nelson, the 5'4" point guard, bounces it in to McClure. McClure is fouled by Michaela Thompson.
You almost get the feeling they're trying to get to the bonus.
Yeah, and they will from now on. That's their 4th team foul. So now Tampa will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. I think if you're right, Jack, and you might be, it might be part of the strategy. Cutting to the basket and blowing the layup was McClure.
Wow.
Here comes Prossie going the other direction. For 3, McMahon hits it.
10-point game.
32% three-point shooter. She knocks it down. 5 minutes left. Inbound it comes to McClure. McClure in the backcourt gives to Tyder. Tyder stays on the dribble. Drives all the way to the basket. Puts it up, and they're going to say no. Basket fouled before she was in the act of shooting. Tom Jesse tried to say she was collecting it and was taking it to the basket, but I think the whistle came a split second before that. But that's the 5th team foul, so 2 free throws coming for Stasia Tyder, and nobody knew it except you and me, Jack.
To a pretty good free throw shooter.
Tyder on the year, 71%. Stasia Tyder, senior from Orlando, out of Colonial High School, went to Georgia State for 2 years. She had 6 double-doubles last year. She had a season-high 20 points at Barry and then tied that with a 20-point game at St. Leo in the most recent game, Wednesday night. Tied her to the line to shoot a couple. The foul was on Hughes, her second. Here comes Tyder to the line. Down to 10 points with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. She misses the free throw.
That one came out of her hand awkwardly. Never rotated. Hit the back of the rim and clanged away.
And she missed them both. Boy, just when you need to add a point or two on the scoreboard, neither go. Here's McMahon for 3. Nudge was late getting there. Rebound, Tyder. Tyder with her 9th rebound. Trying to dribble out of the double team. McClure is fouled in the backcourt by Saunders. Saunders picks up her 4th. And free throws coming for Julia McClure. McClure has only been to the line 4 times all season. She's perfect. And if she misses one of these, that was Jack Ike that said that.
I said, huh.
Oh, okay. She's a senior out of Secaucus, New Jersey. You shouldn't have said it, Jack.
Sorry. I don't always apologize for things I didn't say.
I know, but I appreciate you taking one from me. She hits the second. McClure had a 7.6 rebound game against Texas Women's University. Those were career highs. 11-point lead, 55-44. Hughes, defended by Nelson. Nudge knocked the ball away. Prossie got it. 20 seconds to shoot. Prossie to Hughes, defended by Eshu. Shoots and hits the 3. Full court pressure on the make.
Wow, closely guarded. Now it's down to 8.
And nearly stolen. Nelson got it back.
Wow.
Got it to McClure. 8-point game with 4:05 remaining. Prossie working on Nelson. Big size difference there. Nelson spins. 10 to shoot. 55-47. Nudge to the basket. Strong, but she's fouled. It's a push. Tampa with just 1 team foul, so they're not going to be sending Nova Southeastern to the line anytime soon, at least if not in the act of shooting. But now Nudge to the line. 16 points, 13 rebounds.
Spartans are 10 of 20 this half. The problem is Nova Southeastern is 13 for 31. They've shot a lot more.
They have. Nudge who was 8 for 8 from the line at St. Leo on Wednesday night.
Oh, it's my bad. 10 of 29? No.
Nudge hit them both. She's 8 of 8 here today after going 8 of 8 the other night. She has now made 33 of her last 34.
Nice.
Prossi. Hughes, 10-point game. Whistle, foul. Not in the act of shooting.
It's all right.
Second team foul.
Just the first on Nelson as well.
4 fouls for Eshu, 4 for Sullivan. Second half. And the Spartans end up with the basketball. Eshu playing with 4, defended by her former high school teammate, Kristen Prossi. Dribbles, got it to Nudge. Nudge thought about trying to split the double team, stays with the dribble.
You know, you want to get it in the hands of Eshu if you can, because she's a good free throw shooter. There you go.
Got it to Eshu. 7 to shoot. Skip pass to Nelson. Nelson to the basket. A floater. Teardrop. No good. Prossi the rebound. Just over 3 minutes left. 10-point game. Ahead to Saunders. Hughes, catch and shoot 3. She's feeling it now. Here come the Sharks. Timeout. Called by Leanne Freeland so they can set the full court pressure defense. Don't go away. There's still 2:54 to play.
This is as close as they've been since, I'm assuming it was 19-12 when the Spartans did that run to take the lead.
Yep.
Somewhere 18-12, 19-12, 20-12.
Yep.
It was 12-9 and the Spartans went on it. Well, it was a 12-point run, so it was 21-12 at one point.
Yeah, so 19-12. That's as close as it's been, which was early second quarter or mid-second quarter. What a game this has turned out to be. Suddenly you start to see that Nova Southeastern team. Kristen Prossi, 15 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists. This is her 4th double-double of the season. Prossi coming up big here. Hughes, who started slowly, now has hit a couple of three-pointers. She is their leading three-point shooter. She now has 11 points. 11 rebounds, by the way, for Tully. 8 points and 11 rebounds for Jordan Tully.
Spartans had 3 turnovers at the half. They have 9 for the game now. Or they have 12 for the game
so
now. 9 is half.
Oof.
I would say half of those, if not more, in the last 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, the full court pressures really, really bothered them. And again, you start to wonder. I mean, they've been playing the same group for the most part the whole game. You wonder about being a little bit tired. Certainly Eshu, who's played so tough defensively against Prossi at the other end, too. I mean, those two have gone at it all the way.
Tighter, Nudge, and Eshu with 33 or more minutes.
Spartans with a basketball, 7-point lead. Inbound it comes to Nelson. Nelson dribbles into traffic, keeps the dribble, bounce it to Nudge. Nudge tried to split the double team and lost it. Had a pass ahead, but tried to dribble through the double team. Now Prossi to the basket, puts it up. No good. Rebound, Tighter, and a double-double for Tighter. 16 points, 10 rebounds. That's a huge defensive board. Eshu kicks ahead to Nelson. Here comes Hughes to pick her up. Under 2.5 to play, 7-point game. Tighter with her 11th double-double of the season. Nudge now, though. They have 10 to shoot. Tighter lost the handle. 9 to shoot. Tom Jesse calls out. Prossi got a hand on it, knocked it away out of bounds. It'll be Tampa's ball with 4 seconds to shoot.
A little bit too fancy there. Tried to go behind her back in traffic. Let's hope they are aware there's 4 seconds on the shot clock.
Prossi sits down for a moment just to get a quick breather, I think. 2:11 to play. Nelson to inbound. Looking, throws it in, and the ball's kicked out of bounds. The clock didn't even run. It happened so quick.
Might be a tenth or so that ticked off, but you don't see it.
The officials are actually going to talk about it to see if there should be 1 second.
Well, even if it was 5/10, it would not necessarily show up on the scoreboard.
I agree.
It may be closer to 2:11 as opposed to 2:11.9. It might be actually 2:11.2. But it'll still show 2:11 until the final minute when you get into the tenths.
And this is what the officials are talking about, whether it should happen. I think they're probably going to take 1 second off, but I could be wrong.
I don't think you have to.
No, and you're right. They talked it over and decided, hey, it's possible, just as you explained, Jack. Nelson trying to inbound, throws it in, knocked away. Tyder gets it back, over into the backcourt, over and back, and she banks it in from half court. I'm not sure that would have counted anyway because the whistle sounded. The shot clock would have gone off. It would have been a shot clock violation. But another turnover, Tampa's 10th in the half. And a chance to make it a 4-point game if they knock down yet another three. Hughes has been hot lately. Here's Saunders. Nudge coming out to make sure McMahon doesn't launch another three. And now whistle, a hold inside on Nelson. Just the third team foul, however, so it'll be out of bounds to Nova Southeastern. 1:52 remaining.
They're calling it Nelson's second.
On top, McMahon. That's an offensive foul! Nudge drew the offensive foul as she threw out the elbow. And a fourth foul on McMahon. Here comes Prosy back in. Coming in for Kelly.
That was the right call. You and I are known to call it as we see it, and that was a good call there.
Yeah, we had a really good angle of the elbow coming out.
We'd have said if it was not a charge.
In our minds, at least.
Yes. As we see it.
1:49 left.
Big trip down the floor here. Regardless of whether you get a two or a three, you need a basket.
Well, and run the clock. If you once you beat the get it across, then you take your time and run the play.
Try to run 20-25 off, if not more, but don't get it down so late that you all of a sudden have to just force something up. And we've seen that a couple times today.
They sort of play a zone here, and then they'll double team as soon as the ball is inbounded. SU comes to try to get it. Lobbed into Tyder. Tyder, triple team. Back to Nudge. Nudge finds Nelson.
Good look.
Nelson now trying to get the double teams. Tyder got it across. Tyder got it to Nudge. Now Nelson. They'll drop back a little bit and won't double team. Just man-to-man defense.
So it took 17 seconds to start running an offense. That's good.
10 seconds to shoot now. Nudge thought about a three a couple of times. 5 seconds to shoot.
Now she needs to think about it.
She knows. Oh, no, she didn't know. But Tyder shoots the three and in. Oh, what a shot that was! Stasia Tyder off the assist by Nudge, her 6th assist of the game. Ran it right down to the end. Tyder with another rebound. Then turned it over, and now whistle on a foul before the held ball, I believe, is being called. By the way, the arrow is pointing towards Nova Southeastern, just to keep that in mind here with 1:03 left. A little perspiration on the court. Whistle and a push.
Big Nudge trying to cut through the pick.
And now that's the 5th team foul on Tampa. So free throws coming. 2 free throws the rest of the way for both teams. 1:03 remaining. 10-point lead, and to the line is Thompson, the team's best free throw shooter at 89%. These are her first free throw tries of the day. Earlier we saw the 88% shooter, Hughes, miss 1 of 2. But Thompson makes her first. Michaela Thompson out of Southeastern Illinois College hits both free throws. Waverly, Kentucky native. 8-point game. Inbound it comes Nelson. Dribbles out of trouble, pushes ahead. Tyder. Tyder stripped from behind by Saunders. 56 seconds left. Got to protect the basketball, and the Spartans have not done that in this 4th quarter. For 3. It's good! Claire McMahon drains another one. Her second made triple of the day. They had missed a bunch of them, but now they have made 5 out of 20.
They were 0 for 11 at one point.
Yep.
Now they're showing 4 for 19, or have they updated?
They just
those?
updated 5 for 20. And again, it's a 3-point game. Spartans. Check that. What did I say? 3-point? 5-point game. 5-point game. I got to do the math right. 47.6. I was thinking you're just one bucket away from being a one-possession game. And here comes Julia Ingram back into the game.
A shooter.
A shooter and also a good ball handler. I think that this is a good substitution for Tom Jesse. Leanne Freeland Curry might kick herself if they come up a couple points short that she didn't start full court pressing in the third quarter
maybe. Or yeah.
And now with the timeout, you can move the ball into the front court. So again, the rule that you love to hate, Jack, it will definitely benefit Tampa at this time because they've had so much trouble in the backcourt.
Ingram in for McClure, also a really good free throw shooter as well.
Nelson dribbles into a triple team, and the ball's stolen by Thompson. And now over and back.
Wow, I did not see that.
And that's what Kristen Prosse is trying to legislate. She loses the argument, however. Now I think the officials are going to talk it over because he's going to say, I saw her come over.
He's saying it hit a foot.
A foot was in the front and it came back. So,
all right.
Spartans get a break with 41 seconds left. Leading by 5. Claire McMahon is guarding tighter up close. Big presence. Lobbed and nudge to the basket. Pump fake. Puts it up and in.
Wow.
7-point lead with 37 seconds remaining.
What a change of events there.
And now a 3.
Airball.
Missed it badly out of bounds. And Tampa do they have another timeout? They may want to take another timeout here.
1.
And he is taking the timeout. And that, again, is a good call. They only have the one timeout, but it gets them into the front court, and that's more important right now than saving one for a final play, I think.
Yes.
I think.
You are correct.
The way it's been lately. It was funny. Tom Jesse looked over, came back to the bench, and asked Caitlin Mittrick, do we have a timeout left? And she said yes. He goes, timeout. So,
certain assistant coaches have certain responsibilities, timeouts, fouls, things like that. So he knew, go right to Caitlin. 7-point lead, 32 seconds. More than likely, you will see a foul within about 5 seconds or shortly. If they don't steal it on the inbound, a foul immediately.
Yeah, they pretty much have to at this point with only 32.2 seconds remaining. Great game by Dory Nudge. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists. Just a terrific all-around game. Her career high, 24 points. That was against Embry-Riddle. So she's close to a career high. Stasia Titer, her career high is 19, or her season high. Her career high is 25 against Barry last year. But she's at 19 right now with 11 rebounds. And Titer will inbound right next to Tom Jesse. Inbound, it comes to Nelson. Nelson.
They did not foul immediately.
They tried to double team, and now they're going to foul SU, and that's okay. SU, 84% free throw shooter.
Very good free throw shooters on the court for the Spartans, and here's the move I thought Tom Jesse would make on the change of possession. If it's a made basket, Julia McClure in for Julia Ingram. So a little defense, offense.
Yeah. SU now with 6 points, 5 rebounds. A real nice game at both ends of the floor. Came out super aggressive in this game. And she hits both free throws. Here's Prosser. 15
foul, just let them run their play.
Hughes trying to get a step back, throws it up over Nelson, out of bounds to Tampa, and that should do it. 9-point game with 16 seconds left. No timeouts.
Still thinking a foul in the backcourt if you don't get the steal.
No timeouts left for Tom Jesse. So they can't advance it one more time. He's used the ball.
I think they'll foul in the backcourt anyway.
Yeah.
If they don't get it.
Both.
Game another second on the clock.
Both teams are out of timeouts. Spartans about to hand the Sharks just their second defeat in the last 6 games. Inbound, near steal by Prosse, and now
that's it
Nelson
for Saunders.
And Nelson will go to the line. She is an 81% free throw shooter. So Tom Jesse was designing some inbound plays to get the ball into the hands of the best free throw shooters on the team. Nelson to the line. Tom Jesse's keeping his players in the backcourt.
And he says no fouls.
Yeah.
Even if they go coast to coast and want a layup, no fouls. More than likely you'll have a 10-point lead or more after this.
Nelson misses the free.
More than likely you'll have a 10-point lead.
More than likely a 10-point lead, maybe. Again, Nova Southeastern averaging just about 74 points a game, second in the conference, and only 55 points here today.
A 10-point lead.
Rattled that one around. 65-55. Here's Prosy trying to go all the way to the basket. And she scores against her former teammate. And that's okay. 9.9 to go. Just get the ball in to somebody.
Yeah.
They get it to Tider. Tider is going to be fouled in the backcourt. She'll go shoot a couple of free throws. So she'll go to the line with a chance to equal and then perhaps set a new season high in points. She's had 20 on 2 occasions. We just talked with Stasia Tider after the last home victory, but we might talk to her again.
Can't ignore the obvious.
Well, she and Nudge, again, you could have, as I said to Dory 2 games ago when we interviewed Dory, and there she ties her season high again with 20 points. Nudge does so much for you, and you could interview her every game. Here come the final seconds. Hughes puts it off the glass and in. 4/10 of a second to go.
Just get it in.
And that's going to do it. The final score is 66-59. Tampa with the victory. 20 points for Stasia Tider to go with 11 rebounds. 20 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists for Dory Nudge. 7 points for Eshu, 7 points for Sullivan, 6 points for Julia Ingram on a couple of made 3-pointers. Chris Nelson scored 1 point. Lauren Cody, no points, did have a couple of blocked shots. The Spartans shoot over 60% of the second half, it looks like. 47% on the game. There it is, 47%, 22 of 47, 6 of 13 from deep, 16 of 22 from the line. Nova Southeastern was 10 of 18 from the charity stripe, 5 of 22 from deep, and shot 39% from the game, or in the second half, I should say, 33% for the game, 22 of 67. And again, the only scorers in double figures for Nova Southeastern were Prosy. She had 17 points, 12 rebounds, again her 4th double-double of the season, and then Hughes ends up with 16 points, so she ends up with a little bit more than her season average after having a very tough first half. But again, Stasia Tider tying her season high with 20 points, 11 rebounds, her 11th double-double of the season. Getting to be old hat here, you coming over and talking to the guys here at the table. Nice game for you.
Thank you.
This was not an easy game. The first quarter was pretty much all Nova Southeastern. You guys never led. You tied it a couple times.
Yeah.
But it just didn't seem to be going your way. Just 2 of 10 from the field in the first quarter. Second quarter, though, 21-5 when all was said and done. You guys just really took over at both ends of the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, Coach called that timeout, and then he called a timeout. He chewed us in that timeout.
Did he now?
Oh, absolutely. And then from then on, we was like, all right, come on, guys. Let's get it together.
Well, you guys really played well. I mean, again, Dory Nudge with just a tremendous game. 20 points, 13 boards, 6 assists. She kind of could find cutters and do a lot of stuff. You and Dory have been the leaders all season long. You're very close to the team lead in scoring. You guys kind of 14 points a game for both of you. You guys kind of take it upon yourself to get it done offensively, don't you?
I mean, yeah. For the most part, Coach does look for his leading scorers, to contribute. But at the same time, we still try to go out there and play the game, and we just play within our offense. And we're on games, and sometimes we have those games that we're on, and sometimes we're off. And we just happen to have most of our games going on, and just been having that duo compact with the 14 points for each of us. So
now, Emily Eshu and Kristen Prossi were high school teammates back in the day in Illinois. I don't know if you were aware of that. Did Emily talk about that at all?
Actually, we just found out like a couple practices ago, and when we were doing our scout, we found out that they went to high school together, and so that's
pretty cool. And they were guarding each other, and I thought they both got after it big time throughout the game. It was like this might have been Emily's best defensive game. She was just all over Kristen Prossi all game.
Yeah, I mean Emily wanted she wanted to prove her point that she was one of the better ones coming out of that high school. So.
Well, and last thing, because I know you want to go celebrate with your team again on this nice victory, but with this win, you guys have clinched home court advantage. You'll have a home court playoff game in the Sunshine State Conference Tournament. The first game of the conference tournament, a quarterfinal round, will be here. That won't be announced officially, obviously, and you don't know who your opponent will be or anything. But your record now, nobody can catch you. You'll finish in the top 4 teams no matter what happens in the last 2 games of the regular season. So, a little postseason play here at the Martinez Athletic Center. That's okay, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Very nice.
Be nice if all the students came out to support you too, wouldn't it?
All the support we need.
All right. I'll let you go.
All right.
Congratulations on yet another game. And again, some big shots down the stretch. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. There's Stasia Tyder. She was, again, the person who, along with Dory Nudge, really keyed the victory here this afternoon. All right. So the men's game's coming up at 4 o'clock. But this one goes to the Spartans by the score of 66-59. Jack Ike will have the call of the men's game coming up here in just a little bit. And Jack, we talk about it. We could talk to Stasia Tyder or Dory Nudge every game.
We need 3 headphones.
They're very consistent.
Yeah.
The 2 of them seem to lead the way in some fashion almost every game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're just walking double-doubles, and when you have 2 on the same team getting on the court at the same time, it's hard to stop. Pick your poison there.
I know you were away from the headset, so you couldn't hear what Stasia Tyder told me, but I said, well, the first quarter was really all Nova Southeastern. They led the whole way. You had a tie a couple of times maybe, but you never led. But the second quarter was all you. It was 21-5. She goes, oh, yeah, Coach called a timeout, and he got into us pretty good. I said, oh, did he now? Oh, yes, he did. So that's kind of what keyed that big second quarter, I guess.
Woke him up.
Yeah, I got him all going. All right. Well, I know you want to take a breather here before you get to call the horse race coming up. The team that averages just a smidge under 100 points a game is going to be taking on the hometown Tampa Spartans here, and I know you're looking forward to that one. All right. So for Jack Ike, this is Scott Lynn saying thanks for being with us again. The final in the women's game. The University of Tampa 66, Nova Southeastern 59. The Spartans with a 20-win season. They are now 20-6, and they are 14-4 in the Sunshine State Conference. As Nova Southeastern falls to 16-10, 12-7 in SSC play. They were 1 game ahead of Embry-Riddle at the start of the day, as they were in 4th place, but if they're going to host a first round game in the SSC tournament, they have to stay ahead of Embry-Riddle.